Hello. Now, if you've been following me and seeing, if you've been trying to join the two previous lives that I've done, according to the screen that I'm seeing, there's just one little green dot for the microphone. So this is all good fun. The first video I did, there was definitely no volume. I checked on that. The second video, there was volume. Hi, Mike. Hi, can you hear me? I've got something playing up with the microphone levels and everything. Hi to Canada. Hi. Is there a key or something next to your name? Yes, you can hear me. Okay, well, I'll keep going then. Um, on the YouTube screen, there's just one little green dot. Normally, it's like, I think they call it an equalizer, where it sort of bounces up and down. Wow, but it's not doing that. Other apps that I've checked the microphone, it's definitely working. Lights on, everything's working. It's all good fun, isn't it? It's funny because the first time I advertised this live, I said, still working it out. And I was thinking to myself, I'm still working out a lot of different subjects. But it turns out I'm still working out how to do a live on YouTube as well. Yay. So, anyway, hi to Mike, and thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. I've Mike says I just stumbled here randomly. What is the topic? I just put Q&A. I put Q&A. Sometimes I come on live, and uh, I've been doing a project of just hitting record and trying to be brave and do all of that. So do you record yourself? Do you go live, create anything, write things? I fell down the rabbit hole of watching some reaction videos, and I shared that I liked these reaction videos, particularly for an artist called Ren. So I'm not sure why this has popped up on your algorithm, uh, but that's kind of how a few people have found me. But I've written books and I've done different things, but I've always shied away from turning the camera on. So Mike's saying, yeah, I like writing, but I don't get to do it enough. Last week when I was doing the live, I was trying to encourage people to write their own books, to self-publish and just have a go at that. I hate the word just, don't you? It makes it sound like it's not a big deal. I do think it's a big deal to pick yourself and say, yeah, I'm going to give myself permission to have a YouTube channel and write a book and do all of those things. I don't think it's a just. It's funny though, with writing, obviously you can write for fun and for pleasure. But I think a lot of people that enjoy writing have that secret desire of actually publishing something and having it something that they've got in their hands. Oh, okay. Mike says creative writing. I mean, I write essays for school. Normally, the people are a little bit older that have come on this. Although I did have somebody who was doing their English A level, I think it was last week. So creative writing. I mean, I write essays for school. Well, that's sweet. So, have you heard of the artist Ren? If you're in that age group, you're probably more his target audience than I am. He did a song called Hi Ren, and no, who is that? So Ren is REN, and he does. I think people would say it's rap music, but he does a lot of different other genres as well. So you may want to have a check out of that. So he did this video. It kind of went viral. It's called Hi Ren, and it's two voices speaking. It's just sort of good angel, bad angel speaking to each other in this, and it's very expressive, and you'll either resonate it with this one or not. But it's definitely worth having a look at. Okay, so you're doing multitasking. You're listening to me, and then sorry, Mike has just put that he's checked him out, and he has 1.83 million subs. Yeah, he has a lot of followers. So I happened to fall down the rabbit hole. They call it the Ren rabbit hole of watching reaction videos to this song because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I felt like I must be the oldest fan, that this must be all teenagers and young 20-ish people. But I did a video on it. I only expected 100 people or so to see it. And at the moment, about 9,000 have seen this video, which isn't much. I know in your world, you probably think that's not much, but in my world, that's a lot of people to see the video. And I found a lot of people that were Ren fans that were saying to me, no, he's got fans of all ages and different things. So Mike is saying, what is the message he tries to convey? You have a very adult way of speaking, Mike. What is the message he tries to convey? That's a good question. What's the message he tries to convey? I'm not sure the message he tries to convey. I know the message that I received. Does that count? I was looking, I'd been diagnosed with a chronic illness, and he himself was talking about battling illness and bad health. And the message that I received and that I needed to hear was that I can go on and live a life with a chronic illness. So I'm not sure if that's the message that he was putting out. That's his business in a way. I'm just somebody who was receiving the message. For me, it really helped me to think that he was a younger guy who was creating and doing incredible creative projects and carrying on with things. And maybe he spends a lot of his time wishing he was well or anything like that. But he still went on and created and made things. And at that particular point, I was feeling like 100% of my time and energy was on, I need to find a way to get well. I need to figure this out. I need to battle the medical profession. I need to do this and that. And I found that really unsatisfying and unfulfilling. And I do want to get better, but I've got to think about creating and having a fulfilling life. And so that's what I was focusing on. And Mike was asking me, are you a former doctor? No, I'm not a former doctor. No, I was just doing a lot of research about being ill. So, am I a former doctor? Formerly, I used to live overseas a lot. I changed countries and was teaching and helping people with communication skills. But a lot of my world was just bouncing from different countries and setting up homes and different things like that. And then say, I thought you said get back into the medical profession. No, what did I say? I don't know what I said. Get back into the medical profession. Or get back to the medical profession. One of the issues that Ren speaks about is the challenge of working with medical profession, especially if you've got something that doesn't just show up on a test, but you're still feeling ill, and that you may be in an experience where you feel like you're being gaslit and that people are saying there's nothing wrong with you. So it's dealing with the medical profession that I felt very alone from them. So I had to do a lot of studies and different things like that. So saying, what countries have you been to? I'm not sure if your message has been switched down. What countries have you been to? I lived in Spain for about 7 years, outside Madrid. Well, Madrid, outside Barcelona. And then 7 or 8 years. Then I was in Kazakhstan for a couple of years. Then I was in Myanmar for a couple of years. So would you like to travel? Is that something that you're curious about? And so you're guessing you've got your whole life ahead of you. Waiting for your comment to come up. But anyway. Yes, sounds exciting. I'm curious about you, Mike. Do you normally jump on lives with the chats then? Is this something that you do for fun? You're a bit of a nervous flyer, though. Yeah, my husband works in aviation. So, yeah, I can understand why you would be a little bit nervous. My husband works in sort of the safety and the quality side of things. So I think if you heard him speak about it and you heard how dedicated he is to making it as safe as possible, that might make you feel better. But I don't know if anything takes away the nerves completely. So yeah, so we were saying earlier about what was the message that I received from Ren, and that was I need to create and I need to spend less time and energy on trying to find a cure and figure it all out myself. And yes, I need to have time and energy on that, but also I need to get out there and live a life. So I started this project of turning the camera on every day. I'm on day 205 now. And in the meantime, that's when I started finding more people and connecting with different people online. And I wrote a book. I was drawing cartoons before that on Instagram. I wrote a book about it. And I've got another book coming out in January. And nothing's stopping you from doing all this. I don't know. I feel like I could be talking to anybody here. Um, Nothing's stopping you from traveling, from doing all these things. Even if you are older or really young, I don't know. But you can write a book, you can travel, you can live overseas. So Mike says, Myanmar is in Southeast Asia. Yeah, it's just to the side of Thailand, if that makes sense. Yeah, we lived there. You may have heard of, he says, which country do you like the best of all you've been to? I really like living in a country. So I think you get to know it much better, especially if you're living and working in a country. So although I've visited other countries, my daughter's from Ethiopia, my daughter's adopted. So, Ethiopia, special place in my heart. The favorite is probably Spain. Spain is the place that when I was 15, I said, I'm meant to be living in Spain. I didn't know anybody. I didn't speak the language. I just felt like that was home. It was a really weird feeling. And then he says, I would like living in Spain since it's warm. Okay. And then somebody saying thanks for jumping in the live. I just jumped into a live on somebody else's channel, but super quick, and then I left again because I'd already scheduled this live too. So sorry I couldn't watch more of the live. I will watch it again. Now I know that it's there, and I'm subscribed to. So this is Bad Wolf, and I'm subscribed to your channel too. So go find out what your interviews are like. At the moment, this is super small Q&A. If anybody's got any questions, Mike, I think he's just hanging out and asking me questions about where I've lived and different things. There's lots of other good reasons for living in Spain besides it being warm. I found Madrid particularly friendly. You get a lot of people from all over Spain coming to Madrid to live and work. It's definitely an experience. But I was working in London when I got the job in Madrid, and everybody said, "Oh, you're ruining your career. You'll never be able to come back to London, and London is the center of the earth." And I was like, "Oh no, I think I'll go to Spain." So, Badwell, I saw you. Thanks for popping up. You're welcome. It's fun to go. I really like that other people are doing interviews now. So, Mike, I'm jumping around a bit. Some of us on the YouTube channels have been reaching out to other YouTube channels, particularly who do the reaction videos, and interviewing each other. And again, this is one of those things of nobody really asked us to do this. Nobody gave us permission or said this is what to do. A few of us just did it. And luckily, a few people said yes to doing the interviews. And it seems like people are enjoying it. It seems like people are wanting to watch, which is great. But as somebody who's doing the channel, it's really, really enjoyable. I did an interview with somebody called Jess from Film Finds, and I'm trying to encourage her to do something Christmassy. She's a bit of a film nerd, and I'm thinking, what can I do with Jess? Because it was so much fun just hanging out and talking to her. And I really thought, like, I think I can have a real proper geek out conversation with her about films or something, and storytelling in films. But we'll see. We'll see, because she likes horror movies. And I'm not really into horror movies, but maybe she'll persuade me. Maybe she's the right person to persuade me. Mike, which country has the best cuisine? Oh, Mike, you're asking some funny questions. Okay, so Bad Wolf was saying, I'm just standing in a line at the moment. Guam was gorgeous, and the climate. Yeah. Which country has the best cuisine? I saw something earlier, and everybody was saying about this particular box of Asia having the best cuisine, but Singapore was outside of it. And I remember going to Singapore for a week, and we had different cuisine each day. Well, lunchtime and dinner. It was something different each time, and it was amazing. If you're a foodie, I would go to Singapore. So, Mike, why is that funny? Because you're jumping around the questions. You're jumping around the question. Obviously, you don't know what I've done in other videos in the channel, so that is funny to me. That you pop onto a live. Do YouTube have loads of lives? I don't know. What about, isn't there something called Twitch? Don't they do loads of lives where you can chat and different things? But yeah, no, I suppose it sounds like small talk, doesn't it? When you ask somebody, what food do you like and what country do you like? So it just made me smile. There's nothing wrong with the question. It just made me smile. You're obviously trying to figure out who I am and different things. So, Battle. I've got bad reception. I'll be around as long as people react to Ren. So I was Bad Wolf. I was saying to Mike who Ren was, and at that particular moment, he went off and looked at how many subscribers, and he was asking me what was the message that Ren was communicating. And I paused for a second, but I thought, I don't know that I can succinctly say what Ren's message was. I can say the message that I received, certainly from Hi Ren, and it was really important for me to see and hear somebody talk about being ill and yet still creating. That's not what he was saying in his music. That was the message that I received, and I really needed to hear that at that time. So Mike, where are you from? Where are you right now? If you're saying UK cuisines, I'm guessing you're not in the UK. UK cuisines, I know, are fish and chips. That's it. Yeah, fish and chips are very famous, but we also do something which is called a roast dinner. So that's meat, gravy, potatoes, and Yorkshire pudding. Very famous. So when we have visitors from other countries, we normally take them out for a roast dinner. We might do fish and chips, but we always do a roast dinner somewhere. So, Mike, where are you from? Are you in the States? Oh, Canada. Did you say Canada earlier? Canada, but live in Florida. Oh, you're from Canada, but you live in Florida. Right? Okay. And at school, though, you were saying. So, didn't you say that you were doing school? Or are you meaning uni or something like that? So, oh, damn it. Canada, but live in Florida. I've never been to the States. Yes, in grade 11. I don't know what grade 11 means. I'm sorry. I'm really hoping you're over 13 or something. This feels a little bit weird. I don't know why this feels weird, chatting to you. What do you want to know about the UK? I don't mind chatting. And I think Bad Wolf is saying it's got a bad reception. How is the UK today? The UK today, where I live, we had hail. So my daughter was very excited and thought, my daughter's 11, and she was very excited and thought, maybe we'll get a white Christmas. But it was very short, like hail, and then it stopped and it's all gone now. So, but I've been taking it easy, so I haven't been out exploring the UK. Mike, Mike says Christmas is 3 days. Is it 3 days now? Are you ready? I'm guessing you're at home. Although you're from Canada, you're saying you live in Florida, so I'm assuming that's with your family and that you'll be with your family for Christmas. In 3 days, a minute. Yeah. It's very interesting. I don't know who you are, Mike, but it's very interesting. You chat in a different way on this live than I've seen other people do. You seem to be typing. I'm curious. Are you listening to other lives or doing other things at the same time? You seem to be typing quite a lot. And you're saying, yes, I'm looking forward to Christmas. So this is very strange when there's other people that pop in. This happened last week. So Mike says, I don't know the Ren guy, so I'm just making small talk. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I know that when I hit live, it says who can see this. And I said, oh, it's public. It's fine. I'm trying to get used to just speaking and keep speaking on camera rather than censoring myself. So is this channel only focused on Ren? I'm particularly interested in the idea of people expressing themselves and getting better expressing themselves. I think a lot of people can feel anxious or nervous about speaking, and I'm somebody that was painfully shy when I was younger. So I was teaching, I was in a classroom, I was teaching public speaking. I felt okay at that, but being on camera felt completely new. I don't know. It might be completely normal for you. It might be a generation thing, but I've written a lot of books and things about people who do feel anxious, particularly, whatever reason, any sort of neurodiversity, or maybe it's your second language, any reason where you feel like you're not representing yourself very well in the way you communicate. So I'm doing a project and I'm trying to figure it out on YouTube about being on camera. For me, that's a completely new skill. So Mike says, yes, public speaking is one of people's greatest fears. Are you a former teacher? Yeah, I used to work at a university in Madrid. So I did teach public speaking, but I don't tend to talk about public speaking on this channel. I'm much more interested in everyday speaking and expressing yourself. I think, obviously, you're not in the workplace right now. I think there's a lot of people that hold back, certainly in the workplace, and feel like their boss should know that they're ambitious, or the boss should know that they're capable, or that they're creative and a problem solver. But they're not speaking up and they're not saying anything. So that's something I'm really interested in. On my channel, I put at the top, I've put fully self-expressed and then question mark. Because I think for me, I was comfortable talking about some things like the teaching, but I wasn't comfortable talking about myself, or I wasn't comfortable making a joke about something. And I think my goal is to get better at all of those things, not just focusing on teacher type stuff. Oh my God. Honestly. Oh. Mike's asked another question. I feel like, Mike, you've had like a deck of cards that says small talk questions. It's all very polite, but the next question is, do you think kindergarten teaching is one of the easiest jobs? No, I don't think kindergarten teaching is one of the easiest jobs. I don't think there are easy jobs. I think there's pros and cons and good fits and bad fits for jobs. I used to I did what was called a trainee management course at a hotel. And what that meant was you move through all of the departments. So you're on reception, then you're waitressing, and then you're bar work, and then you're in the leisure club. And blah, blah, blah. You do so many months of all of them. And every department said about the other departments, oh, they've got it easy. They have these hours that they work, or they've got it easy because they get tips as well. And they've got it easy. Everybody looked at everybody else's department and work and thought that something was easy. So no. And when you move from each department, you just realize all jobs can be hard. and have their easy moments. There's all pros and cons of all of them. And Mike just says, I'm just building off what you say and asking questions. That's good. That's good. Remember, I'm fairly new to this going live on YouTube, Mike. You've probably got more experience of asking questions on a live than I have of answering them. So the fact that I'm thinking it's a little strange doesn't mean anything. So I did just read, there's a book by Hugh MacLeod called Evil Plans, and it has cartoons because, as I say, I like drawing cartoons. And this book has cartoons in, and at the very back page of this book, it says, we don't hate a job for what it asks of us. All good jobs ask a lot of us. We hate our work because we can't give enough of ourselves to it. And I love that. I'm telling everybody about this book at the moment because I hope when you find the work that you want to do, that you feel that you're giving something of yourself to that particular work rather than ticking box. Okay, so Mike was saying, what makes a good job in your opinion? That's kind of it. I think he probably was writing that before I finished speaking, but a good job is something where you feel that you have added value to the conversation and that it, I remember when I was doing this training management course, I was working as a night porter and I mopped the floor, and the general manager of the hotel said, thank you, you've done a great job of mopping the floor. I was like, oh no. And I know that he was trying to compliment me, but it didn't feel like there was something that I was bringing to it. If he'd have said, thank you for working this shift, thank you for stepping up, thank you for your attitude to this, when you may be preferring to do something else. So if he'd have complimented me on my attitude or something, that might have been nice. But to feel like I was somebody who was replaceable and was just there to mop the floor, that didn't feel like much of a compliment. Right. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, they say. Yeah. There's always little things that are hard. You want to make sure that you're growing and trying to learn new things. When I was younger, I did think that the goal was I wanted to reach my potential, but I saw my potential as being something quite fixed. That, okay, once I've reached my potential, once I've learned those things, at that point, then I'll be happy and I'll move on and carry on with work and different things. But I really wanted to reach my potential by the time I was 25, have a home, have a car, have a partner. That's it. Reach and then live your life happy. But it's not this whole reach your potential thing. It's a moving goalpost. So as you grow and you learn something new, the goalpost moves a little bit. And that's going to be for the rest of your life. Kind of hopefully, really. It gets very boring if you're in a job where you're not learning. And so Mike says, they also say difficult situations make strong people. Yeah, I did a cartoon about this. Sometimes I like words. When you're talking about quotes and different things, sometimes words just hit me and I think, okay, I'm going to write those down and then draw a cartoon, and just kind of funny because of, difficult situations might make strong people. They're not really difficult situations are not fun things to go through. Oh my goodness, he's got another one. Pressure creates diamonds. Here we go. Mike, have you heard of somebody called Jordan Peterson? If you haven't, maybe you would like to have a search for him. He talks a lot about taking on responsibility and learning and growing and what life is about. You may enjoy him. And he says, Mike says, yes, he has. He's a psychologist. Yeah. He's also incredibly articulate and educated. So I must admit, sometimes when I'm listening to him, I don't understand. I don't know all the references to the different literature that he's talking about. But that's good. That's part of that, being open to learning and figuring out new things. And Mike was saying, yes, he's good at debating. I think he definitely does have skills at debating, but he also has skills in terms of expressing himself. Because if you notice him doing one of his lectures, he is intensely concentrating on the next words that he's going to say. He's still thinking and working out how best to express an idea and to connect the dots in terms of those ideas. And that's something that I'm really interested in terms of how can you learn and be a better communicator. Sorry, excuse me. Mike said he is never absent-minded when speaking. No, I don't know whether he's absent-minded or not. He doesn't appear to be. That's one thing that I've learned when I was teaching, is that sometimes when you hear people speaking, you can make these assumptions about their confidence or they're not confident. You don't know until they actually tell you. Some people are really good at hiding it. Some people come across as being super confident and strong, to the point even of arrogance. But actually, when you speak to them, they're really nervous and shy. But yeah, no, I think he prides himself on being articulate and thoughtful about what he's saying. I have heard him say that he goes, sometimes he has a group of friends and they say to him, oh, you shouldn't have said this and you shouldn't have said that afterwards. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So he doesn't surround himself with people just agreeing with him. And I think after the event, he is also thinking, was that the right choice of words, especially in a debate or something? And Mike was asking, what age group did I teach? I was teaching students that were doing master's degrees. So they tended to be from around 21, 22 to 25, some 30, something like that. So I did a little bit of teaching children when I was in Kazakhstan, more for fun. So that was about confidence with speaking. Okay. Honestly. Oh dear, Mike, you're making me laugh. Speaking of cartoons, he says, who is your favorite cartoonist? I don't know that much about different cartoonists to know. When I was a child, I used to really like Garfield. I can't remember who drew that. As I say, I've rebought the book by Hugh MacLeod, and I do like his cartoons. I like that they're a little bit more thought-provoking rather than just the humor, but I like humor too. So I'm just learning. I've been learning a little bit about cartoons, but really I've been focusing on me creating stuff and not getting too involved with what the rules are and how to do things properly, just about expressing myself. And he says, Mike asked another question. Do you watch any YouTube animators? I've follow a few different animators. The biggest one is somebody called 1000. Have you heard of him? I think he writes it TEN100. And he does the big murals, but he also does a lot of other work as well. But he also does quite a few projects with collaborations with other YouTubers and artists. And so it's a really great way to get to know and see other artists. And also, I was going to say, Mike, I know what you've told me about yourself. I don't know whether this is true or not. He's got, and Mike was saying he doesn't know that guy. He's got, I don't know how many million or so. You're going to look it up. 1000. You're going to look it up. You tell me how many subscribers. I'm pretty sure it's a couple of million or something now. Or maybe it's just the 1 million. I don't know. Okay, so he's asking me, do I know the odd ones out? No, I don't know. Oh, Mike says 1000 is on the ball. 756,000. Yeah. He's done some really interesting projects, and that's one of the things that I liked about him. He was doing a project which involved making and designing a deck of cards, and he was talking us through the process, and then his fans and his followers were talking about the history of designing a deck of cards, and the stories and the clues and the different, I don't know, we'd probably call it Easter eggs, different things that you can find in stuff like this. So Mike was saying he's more of a painter than animator. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's what it... Are you thinking animator as in just then digital art? I suppose I was thinking of the word animator as being more of a generic artist term. Animator. No, my daughter likes anime, but I haven't really got into that yet. I'm just educating myself a little bit about it. I mean, and then Mike says, I mean, like drawing cartoons and animations. Yeah. I'm not sure. Well, as I say, have a look at some of the work he does. Yes, a couple of the projects that he's done are more the painting, and he's done the murals. Yes, I'm just thinking now, does he do more painting? I know he's done different products. He always designs them digitally, and obviously he's sharing that process. So maybe it's because I've seen some of the behind the scenes and the animations. And that I've seen them, and maybe it's because I don't really know what the proper definition is of cartoons. I say that I'm drawing cartoons, but maybe there's something different that you understand it as. Mike is saying, yes, he is a good artist. He's also really good at storytelling and doing the videos and different things. And I've enjoyed seeing behind the scenes. I don't know whether you like the behind the scenes stuff. I'm guessing you do because you're interacting with me on this video. But when I watch a DVD, I like seeing behind the scenes. I like hearing that people don't always have the answers, or that they thought it would take 2 hours to do, and then 2 days later they're still working on it. That helps me keep going with my creativity and different things. So I really think he's got some... If anybody in the future ever watches this video, 1000 has got some really good ideas about what to share online. Okay, so Mike says, when I think of cartoons, I think of the ones similar to comic books. Yeah, I think when I very first started doing them, and I called them cartoons, somebody called them doodles, and I didn't like the word doodles. And then somebody was talking about comic strips. And I think I looked at it, and comic strips are more of a story with multiple panels. But again, I kind of stopped myself looking at that too much. I thought it was interesting, and I did a few 3-panel stories, but I didn't look too much into kind of the Puritan, this is a cartoon, and this is a comic, and this is a this and that, whatever. Because I knew that I could go down that rabbit hole. And then once I'd heard an expert say, this is the way to do this, and you can't do that, and you can only do this, and whatever, I knew that that would influence me. And what I really needed to do was create and make things and share things. I didn't need to be listening to more experts. I do listen to experts. I listen to them a lot. And then Mike was saying, like Calvin and Hobbes, Charlie Brown, Archie. Mike, Calvin and Hobbes, isn't that an older one? Is that still going? So Mike is asking me which kind of cartoons I draw. So I don't know whether this is glossy, so I'm just trying to think which one's the best one to show you. So I don't know whether I struggled with this one. You could see. So I've written a book, and somebody said in a video, am I trying to create something that I shouldn't be? And I thought, I really like that as an expression. Am I trying to create something? So then this is me, and I'm saying, you're so beautiful, and I've clearly created a monster. So it's more like a play on words. It just tickled me. It's just funny. So in this particular book, I didn't share any of the 3 panel stories or the 3 frames. I think they call them frames, don't they? But in this one, I was showing other people about how they could express themselves this way as well, especially for people who felt nervous about drawing or anything like that, just for fun. And then you said, and then Mike says, can you explain that one? So I think I did. I think I wasn't looking at the comments. I'm not sure when you wrote that. So yeah, what tends to happen in the cartoons that I draw is that I have a particular idea of an icon or something that I want to try and draw. And then I think what words would go around that. But more typically, I hear somebody speak. I hear somebody say a phrase, or I see a quote somewhere. And I think, oh, that's particularly clever. That combination of words, the way they've expressed themselves, just intrigues me. So I want to copy it and use it. So yeah. So when I heard somebody say about what they want to create, I don't know. I thought it was funny that I was so in love with my own creation that it was a monster. So. And then he says, what are some other ones that you're working on? The cartoons take me probably under 2 minutes to do. So I don't always remember to do them every day. But when I do them, I do 10 at a time or so. I've got an Instagram page where I share all of them. And before I did the videos, it was somewhere that I thought that if somebody looked at that work, that they would have a good idea of the kind of person I was and the kind of things that interest me and that I find funny in the books that I read and the authors that I like. So it's not, so if you looked at my Instagram page, you would clearly see that I've got an interest in creativity and in words, and that there's a lot of inner conflict going on of I want to do this, but I'm scared, so I tend to draw myself as 2 different people, wanting to jump off the cliff and not wanting to jump off the cliff. So anyway, Mike says, okay, I have to go now. See you. Nice talking to you. This has been a bizarre conversation, Mike, but thank you for interacting and chatting to me. That was very nice. I think I might wrap this up. This has been quite a bizarre. Thanks, bye. He's got a little wavy hand. Bye. I'm not very good at the icons and remembering where they are and to do the bye thing. But yes, you're okay, Mike. You can go. That's fine. Oh dear me, I've got the sniffles. So, but thank you and bye. And yeah, this has been quite bizarre. You know that song, How Bizarre? Yeah, this has been quite bizarre, but I showed up and I trusted myself to think of something to say and to respond and just keep talking on the camera. So I know some people will be watching this. I know some people watch it after the events from the lives. Oh dear me. Anyway, guys, we're all working this out. We're all figuring it out. But thank you to Bad Wolf and to Mike for showing up. Bye.